Hi, welcome or welcome back. My name is Isabella, and today for your everyday Pilates practice, I have a stabilizing Pilates class for you. So we will be down on the mat for almost the whole entirety of the class. We'll just get up really quick at the end. So if you're ready, we can begin by laying down supine, so on your back, here on the mat. So before we begin, or as we begin, just make sure that you are resting kind of heavily on the mat. You're really giving in to the mat, so you can feel the soles of your feet on the mat beneath you, whole foot, and then you might notice that the arch is not touching, but the heel and the toes are touching. And then the back of your pelvis, maybe you want to just rock a little bit from side to side just to get an inner picture, an impression of your pelvis. And then your upper back, your middle and upper back, and the outside of your shoulders, your arms, the backs of your arms. So I like to keep my palms facing up. And then finally the back of your head. So make sure that you're not resting the top or the crown of your head rather on the mat, but you're resting the back of your head on the mat. So your chin is not really tucked, but your chin is more towards your chest than up in the air. Okay, so if you were laying in snow or in a very soft mattress, you would make an imprint into the snow. If you were to get up right now, there would be like a body print of you in this space. So really connect with that. And now if you want, you can place your hands on the outside of your rib cage, so at the sides here, or you can just stay with your arms down. But you can make sure that your thumb is at the back of your rib cage, and then the other fingers are resting at the front. So you are maybe towards the bottom, like the lower ribs here. Now you want to send your breath into your hands so that you will feel your rib cage expand sort of laterally in space. And then you'll feel your rib cage sink as you exhale. Now you can inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Or if that feels strange to you, you can do it any other way you like. Maybe just in and out of the nose. You're not forcing your breath. You're trying to extend it a little bit. So maybe it's a bit longer. But try not to force it too much. So 3 or 4 more times in your own tempo, your own time. So can you feel as you are inhaling that your chest is expanding and the back of your chest is sort of pushing into the mat? And now just let your hands glide on your body to your lower abdomen where your belly is nice and soft. And we'll do the same thing here. Try to slightly, just carefully push your breath a little further down into your body. So you might feel your belly expand, or maybe if if you are kind of tight and it's hard for you to get your breath down here and to relax, then you might not feel so much, but just try to visualize. You can sort of visualize your breath as maybe a light or something, like a stream that goes through your chest and follows down towards your belly. So even though we're not always there in the exercise, we can still work towards it, and we can still visualize and kind of have the intention to get there. So again, the breath is expanding your lower body in your belly, but also your lower back. So you might feel like it's kind of loosening up a little bit at the back as well. Maybe you feel your tail or your lower back almost pushing a little bit into the floor. And just have one more juicy breath like this. And then you can let go. Just continue breathing as naturally as possible. Just don't force your breath. Maybe you want to keep going with breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, or else you'll just breathe through your nose. So for the next exercise, or the first exercise, you're going to guide your knee out to one side, and you want to stay still with your body. So the rest of your body is completely still. Now, if this is hard for you, you can open your arms and place them straight out from your body like so. So again, I like to have my palms facing up. So I'm connecting to my pinky. My pinkies are connected to the scapulas, and I use the pressure from my arms into the ground to ground myself. So I'm not tilting and following that knee. And then you want to bring it back to center, other side. So carefully, gently guiding that knee out without following. Rest of the body is still, only the breath is moving and coming back in. So see, rather than keeping your palms on the floor like so and rotating your shoulders inwards, you're opening them up and you're connecting to your scapulas to get that stability. I hope that makes sense. Or if you prefer keeping your arms in another way, then you are, of course, welcome to do so. So what we're doing here is working on our stability. Don't need to drop your knee so far. Just need to stay very still in your body as you do so. So opening up the hip without moving the whole body, or without rocking our pelvis. Let's do 2 more on each side. Now keep your legs and your feet together. Now you're going to bring both your knees to one side and rock your pelvis as well. So you're following with your pelvis, but not releasing your left shoulder. So if you're going to the right, it will be your left shoulder is grounded into the mat. And come back to center. Right, so there's a twist through your spine. 2 knees to one side, grounding in that opposite shoulder. Connect those pinkies to the bottom of your scapula. Back of the head is into the floor, not the crown. So maybe slightly tucking your chin. Hopefully you're getting like a nice massage on the back of your pelvis. you have been working out your legs, then you might feel that. Feels pretty good. And to progress this movement, we can bring the knees up above our hips, still keeping them glued together, and do the same thing up here. So maybe a little bit slower, a little bit more careful. We'll go to one side, make sure to ground that opposite shoulder and pull back to center. So it's good to use your exhale as you pull your limbs back. That's going to really assist you in doing so. It's easier to connect to your core and thereby easier to control your legs. And 2 more on each side. One more. Last one. All right, release your legs. And now just to give our legs a little bit of a break, let's make some circles with the arms. So arms come down to the sides, and then lift up above your chest and then over your head. So make sure not to flare your chest up here, but ground the back of your torso here. And then swim them out and back down. So up. So again, just keeping that body really still. And when I say still, I don't mean dead and just contracted in all kinds of ways. I just mean that we are breathing, we are lengthening, we're constantly readjusting the pressure we have into the floor to make sure that things are not moving out of alignment. Okay, so we're not really still. Just looks kind of still from the outside. Let's reverse the circle now. So arms come up over the chest and down along the sides. Then open the palms up to the ceiling and reach up and then up and down. So make sure not to bring your shoulders too far up in front of you. So you're not starting the movement from the shoulders here, but grounding them down, letting the arms move from the shoulder socket. And just one more. Let's stop with the arms right up above our chest and then bring our legs back into that tabletop position. Now push your lower back into the floor. You're going to reach out through your right leg and your left arm, and then exhale to come back to the center. So reach out from the left leg and right arm and then up to center. So I like to think that the energy is coming out of my elbows rather than my hands. I don't know if you can see that different. So the energy from the floor is rising through my arms and out from my elbows, and then I can have kind of a soft hand on top. I hope that makes sense. Just little one more thing to think about. And also there is like a long line that goes from the tail up through the body and out from the top of the head. And let's do some more. Now you could have a neutral pelvis here, or a neutral lower back, I should say, or you can press your lower back into the floor, depending on how strong you're feeling today. So if you feel like you might hurt yourself, then you're going to press that lower back down. One more on each side. Last one now. And let's stay with the right leg lifted, extending the left leg along the floor. Again, you can open up your arms for some extra stability. Connect to those pinkies again, scapulas to pinkies, pinkies to scapulas. All right, now pretend that you have a pen on your knee and you want to draw some beautiful, perfectly round circles in the ceiling. So we start with a really small circle. And then if that's cool, if you're not moving or rocking through your pelvis, then you can increase the circumference of the circle. But you want to only move from the hip socket. So any other movement in your body is like a micro movement to stabilize the fact that your leg is moving out from your center and then back in. And let's reverse. Maybe we make 6 circles, something like that. Now, if we work really carefully and attentively, this can feel quite tough in the hip. Because there aren't that, like the muscles are pretty small in there. All right, let's stop at the center. Grab a hold at the back of your thigh. Lift your chest and shoulders off the floor, and we're going to roll up to seated. And then make a beautiful C curve with your spine. And slowly come back down to the floor 2 more times. So lift your chest and shoulders and tilt up. And curve navel to spine. And come down. One last time, lift up. And we're going to stop halfway now. So just curve back here. Release your arms and bring the other knee up as well. Let's just tap the toes, one leg at a time. Maybe 10 more. 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stay with the opposite leg now. So the left leg, extend the right leg along the floor and roll back down. Beautiful. Extend your arms out to the side. Pinkies to shoulder blades. Ground the back of your head. And let's make those small circles. So just stirring the pot with the leg. And if you can feel yourself being very stable, very like strong in the center of your body, you can increase that circle. So the movement is from the inside of your hip joint, not rocking on your pelvis to make more space or to increase the movement. And let's reverse other direction. Stopping at the middle again. Grab a hold, lift your chest and your upper body and roll all the way up to seated. Extend at the top, curve your spine, navel to spine, and roll back down 2 more times. And we roll up. Use that exhale. And exhale to curve. One more time. Coming up. Beautiful. Let's bring both the knees into the chest. And you can hold back here or you can hold your shins. Let's just tilt back for a little massage on the back. Just a little rolling like a ball. Not taking it too serious. Maybe we're not able to come back up onto our sit bones. That's all right. We'll just get up in another way. 2 more. Last one. Good job. Come on to the side. I want to do some side planks. Some nice ones, not too hard ones, but I want to really focus on that alignment and that stability again. So we'll stay up on the elbows, bending the knees, and try to push your hip through. So you're not having too much of an angle in your hip. You're kind of opening up the front of your hip here. And let's just begin by lifting up here and coming down. So this is always a little bit awkward. Just feels a bit tight. All right, yeah, let's stay here. Lifting up and down. So not so much about pushing that hip up as far as we can, and really jerking it up like here, but keeping that line through the body. So from the knee to the hip to that, aligned torso, and then through the top of the head here. And then we don't need to rest like a lot at the bottom here. Just a little touch of the hip. All right, let's do 2 more. So hopefully you can feel it a lot when you're working in this way. Let's stay up here, opening up that knee and close and open and close. And we have 4, 3, 2, connect to that bottom scapula. Last one and close. We'll do all of that together now. So coming down, now lift up, open the knee, reach the arm up above the head, and coming down, closing the knee and down to the floor again. All right, so let's lift up and open. Keep that beautiful alignment and calm down. 3 more. Lift up, open, and down. And lift up and open. And down. Make sure you're not tilting back as you open your knee. Lift up and come down. Beautiful. Extend that top leg now. Now we'll do the same thing, but with that leg lifted if you can. So just lift your hip up and come down. We'll do 4 more. Lift up and down. And lift up and down. And 3. And 2. And last one. Stay up here. Let's make circles with that top leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side or other direction. 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax down. Let's come to seated. Maybe just do a little counter stretch here. And we'll just flip over to the other side and repeat that same thing. So again, it's all about the alignment, being very precise and intentional. And that usually makes us use our muscles in a way that actually makes it much tougher. All right, so let's lift that pelvis up, but not too far, staying in that alignment, and come down. So I have to adjust again, lifting up, and now make sure that you don't have too much angle in your hip here. And 4, 3, 2. Last one, stay up here, open the knee and close. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Now open your arm as well. Come down to the floor, close everything. And as you lift up and open the arm, reaches up above the head. Good job. Let's go down. 5. Reach up and open. Long neck and spine. Scapula is connected. Grounding that elbow. 2 more. Lift up. Last one. Coming up. And calm down. Extend through the top leg. Let's do it again with the leg lifted. So lift up on 6. And down. And 5. 4. 3. 2. Last one. Come up to make some small circles with that extended leg. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other direction. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax. Good job. Let's lift up to seated. Little counter stretch here. And from here, make your way down to the floor. We'll lay on our belly this time for some slow swimming. All right, so you want to make sure that your legs are at the corner, or your feet rather, at the corner of the mat behind you. Nice and straight, strong legs. And then your arms are going to be in a wide V, maybe not as wide as the mat, a little more in front of you or above your head. Good job. So let's lift one leg, and then you'll lift the opposite arm. Thumb is pointing up, but reach out from that elbow. So I'm thinking about that energy that goes through the elbow again. So reaching up. So there is a line going from that foot, this one, and this hand through the back of my body to my tailbone, to the bottom of my scapula, through my shoulder, through my elbow, and then like Spider-Man out of my hand. All right, let's come down. Other side, lift up one leg and the opposite arm. Get that feeling, that Spider-Man shooting that energy out, and calm down. Again, just alternating sides. So I like to keep my face off the floor when I do this, but you could rest your forehead on the floor as well, or on the mat rather. Connect to that line through the body, scapula, like heel, knee, tailbone, scapula, elbow, and then Spider-Man net. Few more. And of course, long neck and spine. Breath is still there. Maybe 4 more. 3, 2, last one. Good. Let's narrow the position in the legs behind us, and also narrow the position of the arms a little bit. Let's come up with those feet off the floor and up with the arms, and we're just going to send the limbs away and just swim like a fast little flutter swimming. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Little breath here. Just rock your pelvis. just to release tension, maybe in your back, lower back. And let's move on. Hands under the shoulders and push yourself up to all fours. All right, make sure that you're really pushing that floor away. Nice and strong, long neck, long spine. Connect to the bottom of the scapula again. Now tuck your toes under, and on your exhale, you'll lift your knees off the floor. Just staying here in a little bear position. Let's hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. A big belly breath in between. And let's do it again. So push the floor. On your exhale, lift up. And we hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good job. Only one more. On your exhale, again, let's lift up and hold. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And this time, walk your hands back to your feet. Nice and slow. All right, hang over, but make sure that you have a lot of space in between your legs. You're going to make your make your toes point out in space, and then just very slowly, make your way up without getting dizzy. You'll extend your arms high up above your head, and then just sit all the way down to the floor. Touch the mat here. So nice and long spine here. And we're just going to lift up, reach up, and then squat down like a frog. All right, let's just do that 4 more times. So reach up, and then squat down. Or maybe we do 6 more. We can do 6 more. Reach up, squat down. And 5. Squat. So make sure you're not sticking your butt out, just sitting right down. And we are on 3, and 2. Last one, push up. 1, and then just sit back down again. Just open up that hip. Have a little rock here. Good job. So we are almost done for today with class. Let's just meet all together at the front of the mat, facing each other, so we can close this practice together. You'll just find a comfortable position. Maybe you'll cross at the ankles. And make sure you're sitting nice and comfortable on your sit bones. All right, good job. Let's inhale and reach the arms up 3 times together. And exhale, ground yourself. So it's almost as you're pulling like that middle line. Just aligning yourself and grounding into those sit bones. So nothing woo-woo, just very physical. Reach up and then exhale, pulling that energy back down. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, coming back down. Beautiful. Thank you for joining me today. And if you like this practice, then please do check out my other classes on this channel. Subscribe to the channel and I'll upload more or less every week. I hope to see you here soon. Ciao!